In this video, we're going to see about what is a mineral nutrient, what is mineral nutrition, and what are the criteria for essentiality of mineral nutrient and theories related to mineral nutrient uptake. First, what is a mineral nutrition? Mineral is an inorganic element and nutrient is a substance needed to survive of plant or necessary for the synthesis of organic compounds in plants. And coming to the definition of mineral nutrition, it is the study of how plants obtain, distribute, metabolize and utilize mineral nutrients. There is a difference between a nutrient and a nutrition. Nutrient, it is an inorganic element, and nutrition is the study of that particular element. When we take a plant and make it into ash, there are 40 elements are obtained, and these 40 elements are classified into two categories. First is essential element and next is non-essential element. Essential elements are those which are necessary for plant growth and development, while non-essential elements are those which are not necessary for normal growth and development of plant, but these non-essential elements also present in plants. And under essential element there are 17 elements. Before going to see the 17 elements, we first see the criteria for essentiality given by Arnold and Stout. So there are three criteria to say why an element is essential or not. First criteria is that plant unable to complete its life cycle in the absence of that element, and next criteria is that the function of that element must not be replaceable by another element, and last criteria is that the element must be directly involved in plant metabolism. Say for example nitrogen. So nitrogen is essential for completion of life cycle of a plant, and the function of nitrogen, say for example synthesis of amino acids, synthesis of protein. This function is not replaceable by another element, and these elements and these proteins or amino acids is directly involved in plant metabolism. These essential elements are further classified into two categories. One is macronutrients or major elements, and another one is micronutrients or minor elements or trace elements. Under macronutrients, we further have carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, magnesium and sulfur. Under micronutrients, we have iron, zinc, boron, copper, manganese, molybdenum, chlorine and nickel. So there are 9 macronutrients and 8 micronutrients. Totally we have 17 essential elements. Under macronutrients, further there are 3 categories. First is framework nutrients, carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. Next primary nutrients, nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. Next secondary nutrients, calcium, magnesium and sulfur. Further, nitrogen, phosphorus and sulfur are involved in protoplasmic functions, hence they are called protoplasmic elements, and potassium, calcium and magnesium are essential for osmotic adjustment, signaling mechanism. So they are important for balancing functions, hence they are called balancing elements. Next, coming to the mechanisms of uptake of mineral. Before going to see about the mechanism, we just say a general introduction about the ions. Any element is taken by the plant in the form of ions. It may be a cation or anion. So an ion is an atom or a molecule which has lost or gained one or more electrons, making it positively or negatively charged. If it lost an electron, it becomes positively charged. If it gains an electron, it becomes negatively charged. So this negatively charged ion is called anion and positively charged ion is called anions. So these are the examples for anions and cations. The only element available in the form of both anions and cation is that nitrogen. So nitrogen is available as nitrate as well as ammoniacal form. Coming to the mechanism of nutrient absorption, we have two mechanisms. First is active absorption, next is passive absorption. So under active absorption, we further have carrier concept theory, cytochrome pump theory and ATP theory. Under passive absorption, we further have mass flow theory, ion exchange theory and Donan equilibrium. The difference between active absorption and passive absorption is that under active absorption, energy is required in the form of ATP. Under passive absorption, no such energy is required, and the mineral nutrient uptake takes place passively without any energy consumption. First, passive absorption. So passive absorption is a physical absorption. Here the absorption is based on concentration gradient by diffusion. Rapid uptake of ions occurs when root tissues are transferred from a medium of low concentration to higher concentration. Absorption of nutrients without expenditure of metabolic energy. Here, the absorption takes place passively by diffusion process. Normally, high concentration of ion present in the soil. This high concentration of ion moves by diffusion process from soil to the root system, and there is no energy is required. Hence, it is called passive absorption. First, let me see about mass flow theory. Mass flow theory is also known as bulk flow theory. Here, the nutrient ions are absorbed by the root along with mass flow of water under the influence of transpiration. The main mechanism involved is transpiration. So, transpiration is a process of loss of water in the form of vapor from aerial plant pots. So, while the water is transported from root to the upper plant pots, along with that, some nutrient ions also transported. Through this, absorption of nutrients and translocation of nutrients takes place. This is with regard to bulk flow. Next, ion exchange theory. Both cations and anions have a tendency to get absorbed on the surface of the cell walls of root and exchanged with ions present in the soil solution. Process of exchange between absorbed ions and ions in soil solution is known as ion exchange. Under this ion exchange, we have two theories. First is contact exchange theory and next is carbonic acid exchange theory. First is contact exchange theory. Under contact exchange theory, we have two things. One is clay particle, another is the root system. Here, two oscillations occur. One at the clay particle and another at the root system. Whenever these two oscillations overlap each other, ion exchange takes place. Here, H plus ion is transported from the root system to the clay particle, and K plus ion, which is a mineral ion, is transported from clay particle to the root system. This is with regard to contact exchange theory. Next, carbonic acid exchange theory. Under this theory, due to respiration process, carbon dioxide is released from the root system, and this carbon dioxide combines with soil water to form carbonic acid. And this carbonic acid splits into carbonate and proton. And this proton is exchanged for potassium, which is K plus ion, like what we have seen in previous theory. And this potassium ion and carbonate combined reaches the root system and transported through the root. This is with regard to carbonic acid exchange theory. Next, Donan equilibrium. In Donan equilibrium, fixed or non-diffusible ions which mostly accumulate on the inner surface of the outer membrane. Due to this, additional cation or anion would be absorbed to maintain equilibrium. This leads to increasing cation or anion concentration inside in comparison to external solution. So all the ions are not diffusible. There are some ions which are non-diffusible in nature, occurs on the inner surface of the outer membrane, and this is not diffusible, so that additional ions absorbed on the surface to maintain equilibrium. This leads to increasing ionic concentration on the surface, so that ions transported from outer soil solution to the cell to maintain equilibrium. Through this process, mineral ionic uptake takes place. This is with regard to Donan equilibrium. So far we see about passive absorption. Next, let me see about active absorption. Here, the absorption of mineral nutrient ions against the concentration gradient by spending metabolic energy. Under this active absorption, we further have carrier concept theory, cytochrome pump theory and ATP theory. We see in detail about carrier concept theory and cytochrome pump theory alone. This metabolic energy is in the form of ATP. First, carrier concept theory. Under carrier concept theory, we have three membrane. One is outside membrane, which is a soil solution. Next, plasma membrane, and at last cytoplasm. Maximum number of ions, nutrient ions, it may be a cation or an anion present on the soil solution, which is carried by a carrier molecule, which is a protein, and forming a carrier ion complex. After forming this complex, again it reaches the cytoplasm to release the absorbed nutrient ions and forms a precursor, which is again phosphorylated to form a carrier molecule. The cycle further continues. This is with regard to carrier concept theory. An example for carrier concept theory is that protein lecithin theory given by Bennett and Clark. The carrier is protein associated with phosphatide and choline called lecithin. Lecithin protein structure has two groups. One is phosphatide group and another one is choline group. This phosphatide group is a cation binding center and this choline group is an anion binding center. Lecithin, due to the action of enzyme lecithinase, splits into phosphatidic acid and choline. This phosphatidic acid carries and transports cations from external to inside, while this choline carries and transports anions from external to inside. Again, due to the action of choline acetylase and choline esterase and ATP, this phosphatidic acid and choline combinedly forms lecithin and the cycle continues. Next, cytochrome pump theory given by Lundegaard and Bastogne. The cytochrome is a heme protein that is important intermediate of electron transport system in chloroplast and mitochondria. Anions are absorbed across the membrane by cytochrome system. Energy is supplied by respiration. Anions are actively absorbed by a cytochrome pump and cations are passively absorbed. Let me see in detail about cytochrome pump theory. Here M plus represent positive cation and A minus represent negative anion. The enzyme involved here is dehydrogenase enzyme. This positive cation is moves passively without spending any energy and reaches the cytoplasm, while this anion requires energy and requires a cytochrome pump. Cytochrome is nothing but a heme protein. This anion reacts with the cytochrome, releases electron at the first step, and further it moves via this pump, and at last due to the reaction of dehydrogenase enzyme H plus ion, which is proton, is released. This proton reacts with this electron and forms hydrogen. This hydrogen combines with oxygen to form a water molecule, and at last this anion is released to the cytoplasm via this cytochrome pump. This is with regard to cytochrome pump theory. Let me have a small summary. So far we see about mineral nutrient and mineral nutrition and the difference between mineral nutrient and nutrition. Then criteria for essentiality. In that we have seen three criteria given by Arnon and Stout. And next we have seen mechanism of mineral nutrient uptake. In that we have seen active absorption and passive absorption. Under active absorption we have seen carrier concept theory and cytochrome pump theory. Under passive absorption we have seen mass flow theory and ion exchange theory and Donan equilibrium. Thank you.